One day in the summer of 1953, a 30-year-old man named Sam Phillips was cleaning up his recording studio. He was getting ready for his next client. But Sam didn't actually know who his next client would be or when they'd show up. Because he was always on the hunt for new talent to sign, he had opened up his studio to anybody. All they had to do was show up, give him $4, and they could be recorded. This young kid, he was 18 years old, he came strolling inside, he had a guitar slung over his shoulder, and right away he could tell the kid was pretty shy. And the guy came up to him and he just said, "Hey, I work as a truck driver, but I love to sing, I love to play the guitar as a hobby, and I just wanted to come in here and record a couple of ballads for my mom." So he's like, "Absolutely, give me $4 and we can record these ballads." And Sam basically expected this kid to do what most other clients of his did, which was they'd begin playing and be sort of like not that good at their instrument and they'd sing off key. But with this kid, it was different. Once he began strumming his guitar and singing, it was like he totally broke out of his shell. And so Sam sat there listening to this kid record his ballads and was just so blown away by how talented he was. And then when it was all done, he took his recordings with him and he left. And then once he was gone, Sam just made a point to make a note about this kid that just said, "Good ballad singer, save." About a year later, in 1954, Sam was back in his recording studio and he was working with another client. It was this band and they were trying to record some songs. But as they were playing, they decided that they were really lacking another vocalist. And so they asked Sam, like, "Hey, do you know anybody?" Sam's studio manager, who was in the room, immediately chimed in and said, "Hey, Sam, what about that 18-year-old ballad singer from last year? He was great." So he called this young man. The young kid came back to the studio and they began playing together and they sounded terrible. Now, the young man was still very much a great singer. The kid and the band had no chemistry. I mean, they just met each other. And so Sam clearly could see that. And so he said, "Hey guys, for right now, just take a quick break." The band and the kid, they left to go get a drink. And Sam left the booth and went into the control room, which is basically right next door, but does not have a line of sight into the booth. He hears the sound of music being played back in the booth, except the music was different. It was really upbeat, it was fast, it was loud, and Sam could clearly hear the sound of that kid. And so Sam left the control room, ran into the booth. He saw the band and this kid just totally rocking out. It was like they suddenly had amazing chemistry. And Sam is watching this and he's thinking, "I have never heard music sound like this before." The sound was sort of a cross between blues and rock and roll. And all Sam could think as he's watching this happen is, the kid, he's the star. That's the person I've been looking for. And so that very night, Sam and this band helped the kid record his first ever single, which was called "That's All Right." And once that song hit the airwaves, that kid did become a star. He literally would become one of the most famous musicians to have ever lived. Sam's studio was called Sun Records, and it was located in Memphis, Tennessee. And the young kid was none other than Elvis Presley.